The trap was set up and I was baiting players. And this is how we trapped the first player. One thing I learned here is that when a shotgun trap hits an auto turret, the auto turret apparently shoots back. Thus, I replaced the shotgun trap so it wouldn't point at the turret any longer. The next victim was a naked with a crossy, who didn't even hesitate. Then I met Timbo Slice. And since he didn't jump in, I tried a different way of baiting. Since I didn't really care about capturing nakeds, I tried to kill him before he could trigger the landmine. Unfortunately, that didn't quite work out. And on top of that, Timbo Slice came back, and this time with grenades. I respawned to re-engage him, but there was no escaping from his grenades. Yep, and that's the auto turret killing him. Unfortunately, it took a while until after I had reset the trap before I realized that his body was lying in the entrance. I didn't have to wait long for the next visitor. There wasn't really much loot on this guy, but apparently the explosion had attracted fully geared players. There was just enough time to reset the trap. And this is how the first fully geared guy got trapped. Unfortunately, I was not able to find his weapon though. I went back to baiting with the gun. It turns out even my shots sometimes hit, so I went out to loot his body. And this is how I baited another fully geared player over. Luckily, he couldn't resist. I patiently kept waiting, hoping that one of his teammates would jump in, so that the auto turret would kill them. And this is how I got to my first AK. Unfortunately, the auto turret hadn't actually killed the second guy, but hey, I had 2 gear sets and 1 AK. And at that point I decided to depot the loot because I felt I was about to get raided. And this is what I found when I was spawning back in. Luckily, there was a full gear set on the ground, so I got armed and ready. I really wish I wasn't such a bad shot. But no worries, I wasn't ready to give up. When I came back, the raid was still in full swing. Here I'm closing the garage door through the ceiling to deny access to the base and also hoping to trap the raider, though I don't think I succeeded. Even though my first attempt had failed miserably, I engaged them again. I'm not sure what a true PvPer would have done in this case, but I decided to hide in the airlock and wait for them to return. Yeah. I spawned back in and tried again. You may wonder why I started shooting back so late, but I swear I pressed the left mouse button. I'm not sure how I survived, but when I came back, there was still a lot of loot and no raiders. I think you can notice that I'm a bit stressed, so it took me a while to realize that I could just craft shop fronts and seal the breach. Luckily, I still had building privilege and the loot was still there, so I could rebuild. Half an hour later, I was back at baiting players. Now this guy came fully prepared. He was clever enough to trigger the landmine and evade the turret, and he even had brought satchels. I made another attempt, but this guy was just too good. He had destroyed the turret. The question was, what would he do next? Well, he got balls. And yes, that's an M249 right there. Do you remember Timbo Slice from the beginning of the video? Apparently he decided to try and raid the base. Lucky for me, I spawned right in his back while he was distracted. Then I spawned in with my main account and sealed the breach. And this is how the evening ended. Unrated and with the boxes full of loot.